people in today's society, I don't think that they think that this is an issue, because so many women hide their burnout and they feel shame for not being that perfect woman. All those people who are talking about these issues, I definitely think that you should try to support them. And if you don't want your social media... Everyone, welcome to my channel. I apologize for the wonkiness of the setting. I still need to get a stand for my actual camera in this car, and right now we're just using my phone, but I really wanted to start this series like a coffee time type of chat. So I'm about to go get myself a Starbucks coffee, and I thought we could just chat. We could just chat about perhaps what this channel is about myself. I really want to develop this in a friendship. So I want you to turn on my videos and I want you to think of me as your friend. And I do genuinely want to be your friend, because I'm making these videos because I care about you and I care about women's issues and I care about people who may have found themselves in the same situation as I have. So to start off this video, I guess before we put the car in drive, I wanted to briefly introduce myself. My name is Cynthia. I am 25 years old. I live in Canada. I am married. I have been married for about 3 years, and I have 3 dogs. So like, I guess 3 and 3 is my lucky number. I don't know. So one of the reasons that I started this channel was because a few years ago I really suffered with some mental health issues. My relationships were, for lack of a better word, I don't want to say a bad word, but they were really in the toilet. Also my family relationships, of course, I want to say, like, my personal relationships, everything from my perspective, they were really in the toilet because I wasn't able to pour myself 100% into them. And I also wasn't engaging in any of my interests. I really had burnout. I actually had serious burnout with some like psychological issues. And then I began the process of taking care of my home. And through that process of taking care of my home, I built up some self-confidence. Because one of the mottos and one of the things that I want to bring up on this channel is that I don't believe that you can heal yourself from within without addressing some of the things outside of yourself. So this sounds counterintuitive, but for many people, I think it's beneficial to get a hold of their surroundings, their homemaking, beautifying their homemaking, or perhaps getting back into those practices of caring for your surroundings and caring for the things that belong to you, and using that as a first step on your journey back to mental health, I guess, thriving. And throughout that journey of caring for my home, I also discovered the principles of femininity. So I would honestly, I'm going to speak to you candidly. Like, I don't have this scripted. I actually don't even have my points written down, but considering I want us to be friends, I will speak to you as if you were my friend. I discovered femininity when I was really trying to have better relationships with everybody around me. And I also discovered that at the same time that I discovered homemaking. I honestly think that I discovered femininity basically through searching of ways that I can pick myself up by taking care of my home. And the process of femininity caused me to be a better wife, it caused me to be a better friend, and it caused me to be a better person. I feel like now I am a much more thoughtful person, and it's obviously always a work in progress, but a more thoughtful, caring person, and somebody who values the things that are given to me and the people that have walked through my life. And loosely tied to that, we will get more into kind of the reason for my burnout. But nowadays, it's obvious that society tells women, on average, that you have to have it all. So you have to have that extreme career. You have to be the perfect wife and perfect mother. And as humans, for many of us, that is just not attainable. For some people, that is attainable. And those people tend to be glorified. But the rest of us who really are operating on a normal amount of energy without stimulant drugs, I'm just going to tell you that is a real issue. The rest of us that are operating normally are just feel so horrible for not having it all together, like those people that are depicted in the media or by society as being able to have it all. And there's also the issue of when people choose not to have it all just for the sake of their mental health. So for example, me, I definitely believe in the concept of sequencing your life. I don't think that if you want a career, for example, you can't have that big career. But I also think that if you have the priority of having children and having a family, you should perhaps seek to sequence your life so that you don't get stuck into that rut of burning yourself out trying to be that woman that is depicted as ideal. Because if you are like most people, that is just going to honestly kill you. Not to sound too harsh, but that is honestly going to just destroy you, your health and your mental health. And so I guess I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but coming back to that point, that is kind of a realization that I came to, first by pouring into my homemaking, second by pouring into my femininity, third by kind of having this like aha moment about the way that the world is, that caused me to perhaps cycle down into this negative spiral of trying to be this perfect person all around. And I found that a lot of women felt that way. I actually studied all of these concepts in secret, I would say, for about 3 years. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, I feel like I read Fascinating Womanhood before anybody even knew that was a thing. And I am a person that really likes to know both sides of the story. So of course I also read The Feminine Mystique. Like, I decided that sequencing my life is the healthiest thing for me. So right now I am focusing on my family, building the foundation of my family, caring for my parents as much as I possibly can. And that is where I am at in my life. Now, later on, I have set up my life that if I did want to pursue that big career, that would be an option. I don't know how I'm going to feel when I am 45 years old. I don't know. And I think it's very important for women to have that choice and to understand that it's okay if you choose one thing over the other. It is okay. And I'm so happy also to see that many women are beginning to talk about this on the internet. So like I said, a few years ago, I was really studying this in secret. Not going to lie, I was very much studying this in secret. And now I feel like a lot of people are, either they have lived a burnout, or they have seen people living that way, or they have just realized that before they've gotten to that point that they need to choose something, because they are not superwoman, and it's okay to not be superwoman. It is okay to sequence your life. It is okay to choose to be a stay-at-home mom or a housewife, or just to choose to do that career if that's what you want. And that you don't have to be all things to all people, and you don't have to be all things all the time. And that sometimes some of us are built to only focus on one thing, and that is okay. And that doesn't make you a failure, and that doesn't mean that you can't thrive in that one thing that you are focusing on, whether that be a career or a family. So back to the topic. I've seen many women talk about this online. That's great, and honestly, I definitely believe that people should keep talking about that. So that goes into my last point that I did think about. Like I said, this isn't scripted, but I have thought about it a little bit of what I wanted to say. And I wanted to tell you that if you are a woman who has had this realization, or if you are a woman who is living a different lifestyle that isn't like 21st century praised, like if you are a homemaker or just a housewife or just a stay-at-home mom, I know that many of these people are very busy actually taking care of their family, because it is a 24-hour job. You don't just like punch in and punch out. But if you are one of those women, I actually encourage you to pick up the camera, or to not pick up the computer, but to open a blog, or maybe get talking on your Instagram. Maybe it is too much for you to do a blog or a YouTube or whatever, but get talking on your Instagram, connect with other women, and share your story about how you came to that realization, and share your everyday life. Because people in today's society, I don't think that they think that this is an issue, because so many women hide their burnout and they feel shame for not being that perfect woman. And if you get out there and tell your story, or if you get out there and say, like, I live this way and this is okay and I'm happy doing this, like some other women have started to do, I think that it is essential to rewrite the narrative in our modern society and to really save women. Because honestly, if you are suffering from mental health or health problems as a result of trying to strive to be that perfect woman, that is extremely unhealthy for you. And I didn't mean to be extreme in saying that it could kill you, but really we know that stress causes inflammation, and inflammation causes autoimmune diseases, and autoimmune diseases cause other fatal diseases. And you get the point. So really, this is a physical issue. This isn't just a spiritual issue. So anyway, I'm getting really heated on this topic. but I wanted to encourage you. And if you are a person who isn't yet comfortable getting out there and talking about this, I encourage you to support the women who are. So as women, we tend to perhaps say, like, I really like following this person because they are my favorite, and like, this person is better than this person. I get fight me on what female nature is and what isn't, but perhaps that is in our nature. I don't know. All those people who are talking about these issues, I definitely think that you should try to support them. And if you don't want your social media just being like bombarded with this type of content, well, create a second one. I personally have created multiple social medias so that I can follow these people, so that I can support them, because I think as women, if you really want to advocate for yourself and your own mental health, you have to support all women who are advocating for things that are similar to the issues that you're going through, or beliefs that are similar to yours. Because one person can't start a movement. To go get a Starbucks coffee, I'll show you what I get. I don't know if I have anything else to say, but please let me know if you are interested in more of these coffee time chats. I will get a better camera for my car. I definitely promise you that I will, if you subscribe and tell me that you are interested. All right, see you in a little bit after I get my coffee. Got a tall iced coffee with coconut milk in it. It's very delicious and not so bad on calories if you are caring about that. And I just wanted to let you know that if you like this type of rambly video, I would love it if you would subscribe, perhaps continue the conversation with me. Leave me your thoughts. Leave me any type of thing that I can use to continue the conversation on this. I'm very passionate about this topic because it has to deal with the future of the way in which society views women. It is important that we support all women that are talking about this, but that we also get out of our shells and begin to talk about it ourselves, so that other people don't have to go through what we are going through right now, or what we have gone through. And if you can save somebody from feeling that pain and feeling that shame, and if you can validate that person and make them feel joyful and make them feel loved and accepted, then you are doing a great thing. I can continue to talk about this forever and ever and ever, but the point is subscribe. And let me know if you like these kinds of chats, these authentic, non-scripted types of chats. And I hope to see you in the next video.